Welcome back, folks. It is a wonderful Monday evening. I'm Josephine Sage. Let's jump right into the forecast right now as we take a look outside at America's Mattress Live Tower Cam. We've just passed that sunset time, but we're going to continue with these beautiful clear skies as we get into those later evening hours, and we're going to see lots of sunshine and minimal cloud coverage throughout the rest of the work week. And as we take a look at these weather headlines, we're going to notice that temperatures are actually 5 to 10 degrees above those averages. And why do skeletons hate the cold? Well, it sends shivers up their spines. So we are having these warmer temperatures stick around, and we'll notice sunny skies still here to stay. And there's going to be that steady, pleasant weather, well, for the long run. Fall and is here as we get into the bulk of October. We'll notice this high pressure ridge that's amplifying over the Great Basin is what's giving us those warmer temperatures. And even off the west coast, we'll continue to see a lot of that dry air move on in. Now, as we get into the later days of October, we are looking towards, well, that possible first chance of a hard freeze. We're going to continue to watch these models as they move on in to see just when that'll happen. We're expecting it to be sometime late next work week, but stay with us because we'll continue to chat about that as it gets closer and closer. And speaking of dry air, we're still in a drought here on the western slope. We'll notice over Grand Junction and Montrose, we're in that severe drought, even over Alamosa in the Four Corners region as well. The surrounding tan and beige areas are just in that moderate drought, and those yellow zones are just feeling a little bit more dry than normal. But those are in those lower elevations. As we look towards those higher elevations above 8,000, above 9,000 feet over Aspen and over that east area of Meeker, we are looking at 7 to 8 inches of still accumulation on those mountaintops. As we look into the light blue area, that's where we're looking about 1, 2, maybe even 3 inches. Now, as these warmer temperatures stick around this week, we're going to get a little bit of, well, melting with this snowfall. So keep that in mind, especially if you're headed to the higher elevation regions, because as it melts during the daytime, there is that chance for, areas like Gunnison, Aspen, even Telluride to get into those sub-freezing ranges and create a little bit more of those icy roads. And as we take a look right now, what that temperature is feeling like, 72 in Grand Junction, 70 in Montrose, getting on that cooler side of things as we look towards Aspen, as we look towards Gunnison. And we'll notice in our almanac that we were pushing above that seasonal average at 74 instead of that typical 67. That low end of things, 43 instead of 39 from last night. Now tonight, we are going to be a little bit warmer, 47 in Grand Junction, 42 in Montrose, very close to that sub-freezing range in Carbondale, and 27 cool, crisp degrees in Gunnison. We'll notice we are losing daylight. I was out and about this past weekend, and I just looked outside, and I was like, wow, it is so dark outside. So as we look ahead in the next couple of weeks, we'll notice we are losing about 10 minutes of sunlight every single day leading up into October 23rd and October 30th, where we're getting closer and closer to that 6 p.m. sunset. And with that in mind, daylight savings time is almost here. It's just 19 days away. And as we take a look at that extended forecast, we'll notice mid to upper 70s can be expected all the way through the end of Friday and into the weekend. And Montrose, of course, is just a few degrees cooler. Low to mid 70s will be seen. And those evening temperatures are basically hanging out in those 40s for the Grand Valley. But like I mentioned, we will continue to let you folks know when that first hard freeze could be, as it is probably just around the corner.